Death, judgment, final destination. Dear friends, we dwell in the Gospel passage from Matthew chapter 25, 14 to 30. When we encounter the parable of talents or parable of three servants, it's about our journey towards final destiny. The themes are death, judgment, destiny of a soul, recognizing the significance of the talents entrusted to us by a master. As we approach the end of the liturgical year, continuous 3 weeks will be involved in the discourse of the future, a discourse of eschatological nature. Church reminds us to reflect on the final destination, the gift of time. Our lives are akin to the talents given to the servants in the parable. It's a call to reflect on the brevity of life and the importance of utilizing our time wisely. In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 2, there's a time to be born and a time to die. Time is a gift from God. It calls for the urgency of investing our God-given talents wisely. Stewardship of talents. The talents symbolize the unique gifts, abilities, and opportunities God bestows upon each of us. It calls for the self-reflection on the use of these gifts for the service of God and others. How many times we have resources, God-given talents, do we use for the service of others? This parable is called to held accountable for how we invest the God-given gifts with others. Death as a transition. Death is not an end point, but a transition to eternal life. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, 55. Where, O death, is your victory? Where, O death, is your sting? May we acknowledge the sorrow of earthly departure, but underscore the hope of reunion in eternity. As we read in the liturgy of the funeral services, life doesn't end here. It continues. Judgment as divine justice. The master returns in the parable symbolizing the final judgment. The concept of judgment as an act of divine justice. In Hebrew chapter 9:27 we read, "And just as it is appointed for man to die once, and after that comes judgment." Destiny of the soul. Our choices in this life determine the destiny of our souls. Matthew 25:21. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. The eternal joy awaiting those who are faithful stewards of the talents. As we contemplate this Sunday the parable of the three servants, or the parable of the talents, let's recognize the urgency of investing our God-given talents wisely. Our journey includes the certainty of death, the divine justice of judgment, and the eternal destiny of our souls. May we embrace each day as an opportunity to honor the gifts we have received, remembering that our final destiny depends on how faithfully we have used the talents entrusted to us. Let's go forth, living with purpose and conviction, knowing that one day we shall hear the words, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Death, judgment, and final destiny.